All right, welcome. Today, we're not just going to talk about some philosophy. No, we are going on an epic journey. Our destination is the very heart of a powerful idea, a voyage across a vast and dangerous sea to figure out how we can face life's deepest terrors and turn them into art. So, ready? Let's dive in.
And this quote, man, it just cuts right to the chase, doesn't it? It suggests that the real truth of existence can be a terrifying, shattering force. So the real question here isn't how do we avoid this scary abyss? It's more like, how do we stare it right in the face and come out the other side not just okay, but transformed?
Okay, so here we are. Act 1. Our great drama, our journey. It all kicks off right here. And our stage, it's set on this thing called the Obsidian Sea. Think of it as this powerful symbol for, well, for life itself. You know, all the chaos, the creativity, the beauty, and yeah, the absolutely terrifying parts too.
Now, I want to be super clear here. This isn't just some poetic, pretty metaphor. The Obsidian Sea represents the fundamental, untamed reality that exists before we ever try to organize it. It's the source of everything, the creative spark and the savage impulse. It's the raw stuff of life that cold, hard logic, it just can't ever fully get its arms around. So picture this. On the shores of this wild sea, you've got this epic showdown. Over on one side, you have the Socratic rationalist. This is the guy with his ink-stained fingers, totally optimistic that his little cold lantern of reason can map out everything. But then, bursting up from the sea itself, you've got the spirit of music. And this is raw, red energy. It's divine madness. It's a connection to something primal that logic just can't touch.
So what comes roaring out of this dark, messy sea? Well, it's definitely not silence. It's a force so massive, so powerful, it can literally shatter your world and completely reshape your soul. This is where things get really interesting.
Yeah, this primal heartbeat, that's the spirit of music. It's more than just sound. It's the rhythmic pulse of existence itself. And its whole purpose is to shock you, to jolt your soul right out of that boring, comfortable, domestic shadow life you've built. It's here to shatter that stagnant order we all get so comfortable in.
Okay, so this leads to a kind of, well, an alchemical process. It's pretty incredible. So how does this even work? First, you've got to face that terrifying savagery of the depths head on, no looking away. Then, the music itself kicks in. It acts like a metabolic fire. It takes all that raw experience, all that pain and suffering, and it metabolizes it. And what does it turn it into? A Dionysian dithyramb. Basically, a wild, ecstatic, heroic song of yes to life.
Okay, but hold on a second. This divine madness, this raw, untamed energy, it's super dangerous. We're talking lethally dangerous. A direct glimpse of these truths could easily destroy us. We can't just dive in headfirst. We need a way to get close to it without, being completely consumed.
Which of course brings us right back to the central problem, right? It's like, if the truth of existence is a star, a blinding, burning sun, how in the world do you look at it without getting vaporized? How do you harness that power without it completely overwhelming you?
And the answer here, what this philosophy suggests, isn't to run and hide. And it's not to build bigger, thicker walls of logic either. Nope, it's about using a tool, a very specific, very beautiful tool for protection. And that tool is the Apollonian mask.
So what is this mask? Its power is in the beauty of structure. Think clear forms, words, stories, images. And this is key. The mask doesn't hide the terrifying truth of the Obsidian Sea. It frames it. It gives it a shape, a structure that allows us to actually look at it, to experience it safely, and even find beauty in it.
So what happens when you bring these two massive forces together? The wild, Dionysian music from the sea and the structured Apollonian beauty of the mask. Well, they don't fight and cancel each other out, not at all. They create something incredible. They create what's considered the highest form of art.
This right here, this is the lightning in a bottle moment. Perfect creation. You've got that raw, chaotic Dionysian energy, the music, and it just pours right into the beautiful, ordered Apollonian form, the myth, the story, and the result, the tragic myth. It's this magnificent spectacle that has the guts to tell the truth about both life's horror and its beauty, all at the same time.
And this is precisely why the tragic myth is just so powerful. It gives us something called metaphysical comfort. Look, it doesn't try to fool you and say life isn't full of suffering. It knows it is. Instead, what it does is it presents that suffering, all that chaos, as an essential, even intentional brushstroke in a giant, beautiful work of art. It justifies the whole mess aesthetically.
Now, having this new perspective, being able to see life as this grand work of art, it doesn't just change how you look at the world around you. It goes deeper. It allows for the ultimate transformation of your own spirit.
Yeah, when you look through the lens of the tragic myth, the soul can evolve. It can become something new. It can become the child. And for the child, the abyss, that big, scary sea, it's not a source of terror anymore. It's a sacred playground. It's a place for infinite creativity and constant new beginnings.
So this slide really lays out a stark choice for us. On one side, you have the child, this dynamic, creative force, like a wheel rolling from its own center. But on the other side, you have the last man. And he's trapped. He's trapped in these fragile porcelain towers of order, living this empty, hollow existence. He's totally weighed down by what's called the spirit of gravity, which is really this bitter, resentful feeling that wants revenge on life itself.
This transformation into the child, well, it's described as the great health. It's the power to shout a dithyrambic yes to literally everything life throws your way. The good, the bad, all of it. This is Amar Fati, the love of your fate. It's having a vitality so powerful that even the venom of life, the worst parts, become a stimulant. It makes you stronger.
And this brings us to the peak of our journey, the final act. It all culminates right here, in the most profound, most complete yes to life that you can possibly imagine.
The real power of this way of seeing the world is that it's all or nothing. It affirms the entire cosmos. No selections, no exceptions, no subtractions. Everything gets a yes. Your suffering isn't some flaw that needs to be erased. No, it becomes the melody. Your story, your myth becomes the song. But this takes a kind of spiritual rebirth. You have to be twice born, once into life and a second time into this powerful, eternal way of seeing it all.
So you see, the supreme art isn't something you hang on a wall. It's a way of being. It's the dancer. And the dancer embodies the will to power. Not power over other people, but the power to take your own suffering and transform it into a dance, even when you're dancing on the jagged rocks of the world.
And here, in this final image, we see the ultimate harmony. The raw, terrifying, consuming part of life, the eater, and the creative, joyful, playful child. They aren't enemies fighting each other. They're unified. They're in a mystical marriage where rapture and terror exist together. Life's terror and its joy, they're not opposites. They're partners in this eternal cosmic dance.
So, our whole journey across the Obsidian Sea, it all leads to this. It leaves us right here with this one final crucial question for you. When the music of your life starts to roar, that chaotic, terrifying, but also beautiful music, when it comes surging up from the depths, what are you going to do? Will you run and hide in that fragile porcelain tower of reason? Or will you put on the mask of art and learn to dance?